logo. Me and Paco no
Did you
time
close your
limit
door?
sub only today, I guess. God, no lord. Yeah, dude. Oh shit, listen. Meow. Okay.
Hello, hello, hello,
Hello.
Can you see my toes
Hello.
in there?
Hello. Hello.
hello, hello, hello. Okay. I think we are ready to
Leo,
go.
come here. Come here. Oh, come here. Come. Come here. Come up here. Oh, you scared him. Leo,
Yeah. Bye.
treat.
What? I'm logged out.
Treat. Leo, treat. Hungry?
Bye.
Hungry? Leo, hungry?
You just fed him.
No, I'm trying to get him over.
Exactly. He knows you just fed him.
No, he stopped right there though when I said hungry.
Oh.
Password is this? That's a stupid code. Oh my gosh. Okay. Hello.
Right.
How you guys feeling?
Did you dye your hair?
No.
It's like brown.
Maybe because I permed it, and then it's
The color's not black anymore.
Yeah.
It's whiter, stripped.
yeah, but it's like a lot. My hair's a lot less
Frizzy.
rough.
Mm.
Not stick.
Light.
It's not stick anymore. It's just
Okay.
But thinking about buzzing my head is the heat wave. It's like
Are you serious?
really hot. You remember the last time when I cut my hair? Like
For that ET1 guy.
the ET1 cut.
ET1?
Do you ever
When
watch
I
that show?
buzzed my hair and it got really short on the top.
You don't remember that show?
No.
Did you ever watch it?
No.
You
I
should
don't
watch
think
it.
so.
It's really good.
ET1.
It's just the normal
He's
buzz
like
cut.
fangirling over that guy.
It's just the buzz cut. Like
It's
a
like a
normal,
buzz
like a
cut.
military buzz cut.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
But
I'm gonna go bald before I fight. Yeah, because me and Jeffrey are like, you think about it. Anderson Silva, George St. Pierre, John Jones, Daniel Cormier, all champions. I'm like, fuck, okay.
Did they have hair before, or did they just shave it?
They
off?
had hair, they got knocked out. They didn't have hair, they won. I'm like, but then there was like, but then I was like, but wait, we were thinking, oh, and then we were like, oh, but Connor. And he's like, yeah, he had hair, he won. And then I was like,
Oh, but when he shaved his
but he
head,
shaved his head, he fucking broke his foot. I'm like, fuck. And then I was thinking like, what about Jose Aldo? And he's like, he's bald, he got knocked out by Connor. I'm like, oh fuck. And then we're just like going through scenarios and stuff. John, DJ fucking reigned the whole absolute era because he was bald. I was like, oh my god.
well, each fighter's their own thing. That
And George St. Pierre, when he had hair, he got knocked out. I'm like, oh no! And then he shaved his head.
oh Okay. I don't have much topics to talk about. You guys have anything you guys want to talk about?
So we already talked about the thing we
Let's talk about.
didn't cover on. I mean, that we covered on yesterday. That we
Yesterday.
missed. Sorry, last 2 weeks or something that we missed. That we missed from the like deleted podcast. Remember that one podcast?
We talked about our.
Didn't you
our
cover
work.
it last
Yeah,
time,
we
though?
covered that already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe let's get into our thoughts about things. In terms of like
Okay, please say in
like,
terms of something. That's the whole point of the podcast.
controversial idea or something.
No, that's gonna be so.
Or let's talk about relationships. I think that'd be pretty fun. Relationships. So would you like to start with something?
What, are you in a relationship?
I'm in a situationship. End of story.
Situationship. How long does the
Next.
situationship have been going?
Next. Almost 2 years. Next.
Oh, what the fuck? Did you know
I
that?
do.
What
Yeah.
the fuck? Did you know this? Did you know before when it started 2 years ago?
When it started 2 years ago?
Yeah.
No,
I
because
didn't-
he wasn't here.
Yeah, but I knew like I talked to him like one time when I was driving to work. I was talking to him. I was like, "Yo, what's up with this?" and stuff.
Pause. Next question.
I knew it's been gone for a long time, but I didn't know it was fucking 2 years. God damn.
Yeah, almost 2 years.
Mm.
It's been going on for a while. But
No wonder you became nicer.
That's funny.
do you know that's what I told
That's hilarious.
Celeste before? Every time you have like a girl or something, I'm always like, "Yo, he's nicer now."
He's not an ass. And when it's like, you know, he's an full on blown asshole, and the things are.
Yeah, you don't argue with that as much anymore. And us.
Yeah, because I see less.
Yeah, and he's too occupied.
I'm way too occupied. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did it take you so long to show her face? Like, I only saw the back of her every single time.
I heard the voice.
I heard her. Yeah, because you're right next to him.
Yeah.
But it was always like the timing of it. The timing was like when I was coming down, she was just like zoom past. I was like, damn, this girl's so sneaky.
I'm staying in the same bottom area. Half.
No, dude.
I still don't know. Like I don't.
Dude, there was times where you're literally looking at the monitor and I just, like zoomed her past you. You didn't even know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So she's like so sneaky. She's so quiet.
Yeah, but I guess what a question? What traits do you want to see in your
Partner in your
partner,
future.
in our like what do you want to see in
The girl-
the
The girls that you
Bone-
guys date.
Yes, fucking that's so hard to say.
Yeah. That was like.
Wait, what we want to see?
No, it's what
what-
I want to
what
see
kind
in
of
the girls
traits
that you
that-
date.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant.
The characteristics.
It just took him a while to say. Like,
I don't know.
I was trying to put it in words. I was like, what the
Mm.
fuck am I saying? It's
um,
hard.
honestly, I
Is it important that
It is
you get
important to me.
that you get along with them?
it is important because this is okay, girlfriends, whatever, it's fine, but like future wives, I would
lifetime
want
partners.
lifetime
Right?
partners. Like I would want lifetime partners if Nick was gay.
Why does everyone say partner? And
Why is it me if I go gay?
Never see a big gay.
Yeah, dude. Nobody will ever see me
You
go
said
gay.
what was it? Climbing. What was that guy?
Bro, you
Pansexual
tall.
guy?
You.
Yeah, what?
He was hitting on you, so like you clearly have both the you capture both
Masculine
the
and
feminine.
features, you know. Listen, you tall, you cute, you look like a K-pop star, like, you know,
Or like
To
you.
each their own. I think.
male gender,
I think
female
Bowen-
gender, other genders.
I think Bowen attracts different genders as well. It's just different people.
Okay.
I had no, I never had a gay guy hitting on me, so I never had others hit on me.
Never had a pansexual hit on him, so. Okay.
First for everything.
Very rare. There's a,
Yeah, it's the first for everything, right? So you never know.
yeah, you're up on the scale. You're 1 and 0 for all of us. So you know, like, you know.
No, I do want your future partners to be good friends and like to a point where like if you feel like this person is gonna be serious and you're pursuing something serious, I would like to get to know them and ultimately I would love to have them as like my sister. Like, that's how close I want them to be. I don't want them to be
best
distant.
friends, just like sisters.
Yeah, I do. Because I've always wanted a sister. And I think you both know that.
Why'd you get a male cat?
I don't know, I just like really liked it. It just happened, honestly. It just so happened. And plus, like, surprisingly, he's not aggressive.
Hmm.
A lot of male cats are quite aggressive. And like they say that female cats are more affectionate, blah blah blah. But I feel like he's pretty good.
Snip, snip.
He's pretty calm. But yeah, yeah, I would want them to be like a sister to me.
Who are you?
Well, they gotta go through rigorous tests, of course.
Oh my god.
You gotta father these people, make sure they're.
What are your requirements? What is your checklist or kind of thing that you like see?
For you, it's always been, can they protect you? I do not care about a lot of other stuff.
Or will they put
But-
you in danger?
So it's put you in danger or protect you, because yeah, as much as like
Oh,
be-
sorry. Yeah,
No.
go.
okay, as much as like maybe I over obsess, especially about that, like I need to make sure that, like, it's always like, for me, younger was always like, protect your brothers and sisters, protect your brothers and sisters. So if I need to at least pass that on to somebody, they need to protect you
Hmm.
no matter what. Like, if I feel like they can beat me up, wait, no.
Oh, fuck.
That's pretty much how I'm gonna look at it. That's my
So I gotta like date
requirement.
somebody who fucking does Muay Thai and stuff like that. Then.
Or
BJJ,
BJJ or whatever. At least have something,
some
you
kind
know,
of combat training.
some combat training. You know, whether it's, you know, something like
Yeah, I know that.
stronger. You know, could be stronger, but muscles aren't gonna beat everything. If I know they do BJJ, they'd be like pick, or martial arts, be like tick.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna add something really quickly to mine. Is that like want them to be ambitious, meaning that like they're goal driven and they don't like kind of drag you guys down, and also like I can see that they will be good future mothers, because I've seen a lot of shitty ass mothers. I'm sorry, but like being in the education field and with a lot of kids, I've seen really shitty moms, and like I'm gonna be so particular in the way that, you know, I observe them. just before they decide to take serious paths or journeys with you guys. So very particular with that.
I'm assuming your requirements for me are a lot less than Celeste. Or do you even have any requirements for my partner?
I think one of the most important ones is like you're not dependent on each other too much, because that's
Nick,
will
are you
cause
kidding me? It
a-
does not depend. Sorry, yeah.
it can cause, I guess, like it's like too much of an
Attachment issues?
too much attachment issues, and
I used to be hella needy and like really attached to a person.
Yeah, I could tell
Yeah.
in high school.
And then I stopped that. I got called out once.
damn.
Yeah, this girl I was saying, she was like, "Why the fuck you so needy?" And I was like, "Peace."
Yeah, good,
And I
good.
left.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you can learn from that, but like a sense of independence on your own. You don't always just attached to that person, because I've seen relationships turn bad when
I feel like
they
it
start.
eventually gets slightly toxic.
Yeah,
if
no,
you
that's slowly.
depend on one another,
Mm-hmm.
and if one kind of
Builds jealousy, builds resentment.
any of
I
Starts-
think
that.
the dependency, if it heads towards all of that, then yes, it leads to toxic relationships. But like, if it heads towards a way where you're both growing and you're helping each other, do the things that you both individually love, like if you're encouraging them to work on this, and it's not about the relationship, it's about like their lives. So it's just like if you have to like a project that you're doing, and then they're the one to kind of like gets you going and like reminds you, hey, you should don't forget to do this, or like blah blah blah, like it's like it's also like your partner in crime in a sense of like you pursuing something good for yourself. Then it's okay to like depend on each other because you're helping each other grow. If it's the other way, then it's for sure become too reliant on them. Then it
That's the
becomes
big thing. It's you become too reliant on the other person, and I think it like sets a bad precedence, I guess. Because I say if they for example, a couple is really dependent on each other, and they get into arguments, they break up. It's like it almost is like they don't have their own identity after they break up. It's always gonna be like couple. Say they argue, they split, and then one always feels lost, and the other one just kind of has always kept the identity. So it isn't much of a change for the other one, and it then takes the other one a lot longer to kind of cope and then get better, and then they have to kind of start from ground zero. Right.
I read somewhere that or I read this book, and it explains about the 3 different types of attachments, and most of people in the dating pool that get into relationships, most are the reason why they don't end up well is because they consist of mainly anxious and avoidant attachment people. The entire dating pool, because secure people don't feel like they have to go into the dating pool to find people because they're already secure about themselves.
They're secure about themselves.
Right. They don't have to worry. Like the anxious ones are like, oh my god, I messed up. He's gonna break up with me tomorrow, or she's gonna break up with me tomorrow. And then avoidance, like we got into a fight, I'm gonna ignore you for 3 days, or like I can't deal with this. We're not gonna talk about this at all. We're just gonna move past it, or like I can't deal with it right now.
Yeah, those people were just
Or like I'm too good for you. Like move on, like, get away from me, type of thing. So that's why those issues we hear so much in relationships because the dating pool consists of those people. That's what I like read about.
I heard somewhere where like avoidant and anxious people both are very good for each other in a way, or is it stable and
It's secure.
in
It's
something?
any secure that's in within a relationship will likely ground the relationship for either anxious or avoidant. But
Yeah.
if you have the two, it's
No way.
quite
It's
like
a recipe for destruction.
disaster.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, it was really bad. I think it was saying either it was anxious, bad, avoidant, bad, but like with the mix the two together is really terrible. Because one is like leave me alone, but one's chasing after the
Chasing,
person. Yeah. So there's like the avoidant needs his space, but the anxious doesn't. So it's like very contradictory, and then it's just like it blows up. It gets
Yeah.
very, very bad and toxic. So
I guess for requirements, Bowen, I would say like not as much as you, of course, because you're the girl. But
people are gonna watch it like that's sexist.
as long as they like,
misogynist.
oh my god, as long as they get along with all of us, as well as like respects mom and dad, and puts an effort to speak to mom and dad.
Yeah, I won't ever like marry someone that isn't family oriented. That's one of the big thing. It and like it essentially for me is like you're replacing my mom, and you have to get their blessings. You have to also be like a friend to them as well, and just essentially the other way around. Like I am going to be replacing like kind of their fatherly figure. That's why in like weddings, it's like when you're walking down the aisle, the dad walks the daughter down the aisle and passes it on to the husband, or, right? So it's
And the first class is like you need to be able to provide everything.
Huh?
Your requirements for her
Her
partner.
Yeah, needs to be able to just provide.
Provide. Yeah, absolutely.
Provide and is like respectful.
Provide, protect,
Yeah.
respectful, and
Yeah.
loyal.
As long as you're happy, then it's just like
Hi, Pluto.
yeah.
Oh no. Oh, see.
Oh.
Yeah. But if let's say one of our partners you didn't like, would you
Yep.
bring it up?
Yep.
Has there been?
I didn't get to know them well enough. They would maybe.
You don't have to specify or anything.
We don't have to specify.
Yeah,
I'm
no need to
not.
specify.
Wait.
I don't
yeah,
think
yeah.
it was about them. It seemed more so like how you were. I think I kind of like reflecting a lot about how you were in a relationship versus like if they were good for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was like a reflection on how your actions are a reflection of the person, kind of.
Well, I look, yeah, but also I when I look into it, I'm not like biased immediately, right? I look at it like, okay, they're together, but like, is she good for him? Is he good for her? You know, like I'm unbiased. So like, when I see things like, oh, if he's treating her wrong, or there's certain things, and it's just like, okay, that's not right, blah blah blah. Like, so I'm not instantly like, oh, I got like a judgment on them, but of course, like, I will only hope that they make you happy and all that kind of stuff, right? So I would say, if to answer your question, no. Just based off just to answer your question, like, did
So
I
far,
not?
so good.
So far, so good. Because I barely even like talk to them.
Mm-hmm. Don't really have much to talk about besides that they're dating. point of view. That's it.
And plus,
Really?
you were always downstairs. I'm upstairs. You guys always brought, you know,
Always.
as of lately, but like, you know.
I was like, what the?
Hey, you kept for 2 years, yeah. So you probably within those 2 years, you just.
In those 2 years, she's only recently started coming over. Yeah, it's for me, I guess. Yeah, I didn't really speak to a lot of the ones that Nicholas was dating.
Just said hi.
Really just said hi. You know, how's your day? What are you guys gonna do today? It's just like, you know,
Small talk.
small talk.
Yeah.
And I guess if they were either like if they were trapped in your not trapped in your room, but I felt that they were just always in your room, I would like, you know, offer them if they wanted to just, you know, hang out here upstairs if they want. Or I would always be like, hey, do you want to play around with the pets? For me, time wasn't an issue. It was always like if they could make you grow or kind of pursue something. Because it was like, it didn't matter to me if it was like, you know, you saw them for 2 weeks, 2 months, or a few years. Like the timeline didn't really matter. It was just like, it was always the quality of the relationship, correct? Because like relationship can turn really like good in 6 months. It could take a lot more time, but it was always like quality. And I guess like we would also try to see what changed after the so-called honeymoon stage, because it's easy to be like, oh,
I feel like people. I have a like my thoughts on like modern dating nowadays.
oh man,
It's
so
like-
oof. So do I.
It's like really fucked up in a way.
Of course.
And then
It's fucked up.
like those dating apps and everything, social media has really fucked people's like view on
Mental
on,
state, mental health.
yeah, and also like just what your expectations and versus reality is like. Because I feel like IG is like it's pretty much kind of like a dating platform, just to show people like it's like your resume for your friends or people that you've first time met or whatever, or like your LinkedIn or some shit. It's like where you've been in your life, what do you do, what are your hobbies, and your stories. You see what you do on a day to day. It's like the fuck. But yeah, I think it's kind of fucked up. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, after Tinder kind of blew up, and then these other small apps started to come in, it's always the same thing. It's a numbers game.
Numbers game.
Numbers game. Tinder is always a numbers game. Bumble was women's started the first conversations, which they.
What do you mean by numbers game?
How many matches you can get?
Statistically, all men will pick, I believe, like 80% of the women there, and then it's vice versa for women. So for the majority of men, they don't get picked into the pool of the top like
the
women.
top 10-20% of the men get 80% of the women.
Correct. Correct. So if you flip out if you look at the other side of that percentage, a lot of the men are basically pushed out, and women have a ton of the options. No matter what in the dating pool, women will always have the power, right? Even if they gave them the power, they are so bad at it too. Like in Bumble, women have to make the first conversation. They suck.
Hey.
It's like, yeah, I'm like, really? it's like hi, I'll shoot an emoji. It's like it's almost
never used Bumble or Hinge.
yeah. So that's why I'm telling you. Like I've been on and off of it, because it's like part of my thing was also to kind of just learn the apps and learn the algorithm and to see what culture was for each app, especially like the big three, which is Hinge, Bumble, and Tinder. Tinder was always that hookup app, numbers game. You kind of wanted to always put like, you know, the best, you know, image. Especially there was like those memes where it's like, oh, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and then Tinder, right? LinkedIn, you were like in a suit. Facebook, you kind of showed like maybe your fun side. Instagram was like best photos, more adventurous, showed your hobbies. And then Tinder was just like, you know, thirst trap photos, right? And there's always like these rules that you have to apply by in order to get a good profile and in order to get more likes and to get more. So it's like a system, it's a game, and then like I said, like, you know, moving on to Bumble, just women are just terrible at like majority, maybe not all, but it's like they gave you a chance to start the conversation, but it almost goes nowhere. It's like it's almost that opening line where you kind of throw the ball into their court. It's like it's already your job to start the conversation, and you're kind of throwing a hi. You know, how's your, or like just a hi or like an emoji, so it kind of breaks the no, it doesn't break the text, it allows the male to reply, you know. It actually breaks the opens up the conversation. But it's like, you know, when guys do it, it's like they gotta be
Riz it up.
you gotta riz it up, exactly. And then Hinge is, of course, the actual, you know, slogan is the app that is made to be deleted. So that one is a little bit more relationship fine, but they kind of throw in the IG, the preferences, the height, the race, the, you know, if you smoke, if you drink, like that one is a little bit more, but it's also like it invites others, like literally others, into the mix. And then you're very particular, and it's like preferences, but then, you know, some people want to look at it like, oh, you're shallow, or you know, it's like, no, you just know what you like.
Preferences.
It's called preferences.
That's
you
why
know?
the fucking filter thing
That's
is called preferences.
Yeah, literally the filter says preferences, and you know, it's like, of course, people will always get offended no matter what you say. So that one is like always, you know, it's like the modern style without the stigma of it's the modern dating app that actually will get you in relationships, that will kind of take away the stigma of Tinder, because Tinder will always be the hookup app no matter what.
Hey, come here. Come here.
Zoomies.
I feel like those people who like make fun of Hinge and say that like, oh, what did you say? You're like, people say that it's what?
Made to be deleted, or
No, that's enough.
You're saying people don't like Hinge. They're saying that because they were saying. They're saying what about Hinge? Like they didn't like it. Like what was it that you said? It was
the preferences.
no. Before that,
Was that about Bumble?
no Hinge. You said Hinge.
I don't remember saying something that people didn't like. It was,
No, you're saying.
oh, because of the others?
No, it's just like
Relationship?
because Hinge is like a preference thing, right? But some people look at it like it's not a preference thing, it's offensive, it's because it's going into so much detail and stuff like that. So people are like, oh, this is
Shallow of you?
shallow. There we
Oh.
go. You said, yeah, people were saying shallow, but like, what makes it you not shallow for being on Tinder? And also, like, if you care so much about
Because Tinder, you knew exactly what you wanted. It was just the hookup. So it's like you both are like in agreement to just hooking up,
But
right?
it's just like
Because if you're trying to go on Tinder
but
trying to
I'm
look
saying
for,
that when you're on when you're on Tinder, technically you are being shallow because you're choosing it based off of what you see.
But apps in general are always going to be number one based off of what you see.
Exactly.
That's
so people are
literally the first
complaining-
thing.
Complaining about like, oh yeah, Tinge is like you're so shallow and stuff like that. So,
Hinge is shallow because it's out there for you to kind of select.
but I'm just saying
I
that
think all
ultimately you're
the-
gonna be shallow
everything
regardless.
is shallow.
So it's just like, you know, you're complaining, oh yeah, it's so shallow. You are technically being shallow in all apps.
Yeah, because you're swiping based off. Well,
You're
there are
swiping based off looks.
profiles.
Yeah.
Some people do look at the profiles and they look at the prompts and they
I'm
see.
just saying to the people who are saying that, oh, Hinge is so shallow, that it's so detailed and stuff like that, blah blah blah. But ultimately, you are being shallow in all apps as well.
Yeah, it's true. But
double
there's
standard.
levels of it, and then when it's so detailed and preferenced, people start to get a little offended because like there's examples like maybe say a white dude only wants to date like Asian.
And that's fine.
You know,
but I'm
that's
just saying
fine.
those
And then
who
people
are
find
shitting about
people-
how like
people
oh yeah,
find it
it's
as
so
like
shallow.
a people find it as like a fetish, or like you know
the flavor of the month.
yeah. Yeah, just being on those apps again. It's like you going back to what you said. It's so
Distorts
it's
your
just
reality.
distorts your reality, especially with you know people trying to catfish and all the time.
Yeah.
Filters, you know, airbrushing, you know.
And like as you said, like the honeymoon phase. Stop getting him so excited. He's just chilling. Oh.
Go on. Honeymoon stage.
The honeymoon stage. I feel like it's even worse when it's like you're on those apps because you're just gonna keep faking it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it, and if it doesn't work out, you're just gonna move on because you have options. So it's always like you're afraid to pretty much take that next step because you don't want to either get hurt or humiliated. And there's options. It's the big thing. It's not even like it shouldn't be Tinder, Bumble, Hinge. It should be just options. Like that's the whole like that should be the name.
Life.
Okay,
No,
sorry.
it's not even life. It's just options.
I'm gonna steer off to a different question just because it just popped in my head and made me think about it because I watch this on Reels and stuff like that. So what are your thoughts on? So let's just say your girl hangs out with a guy friend alone. What are your thoughts on that?
Depends on the friend as well. It shouldn't be like, you know, it's you're supposed to be her guy best friend. It shouldn't be like, especially like depends. Yeah, like again, the dude is very. You got to be more specific. If it's just a dude, then like it's a little sus.
Okay, so it depends, like who this guy is to her.
Depends on every situation, but
So, like-
again, it's like you know, you should.
For me, it would have to be like I need to know the person. I would need to hang out with the person in the past and see how they are. But
They should never have a past about liking them. They should also.
I don't care if that person liked her or whatever. But
If they had a thing
regardless,
before?
no thing. But if he liked her,
It was a one-way
or the
street.
one-way thing, I'm okay with that. But she needs to know that number one, even though she might have been friends with that person longer, number one on the list will be me.
Yeah.
And then if someone else, then it would be
What if like they like?
Like like I said, I'm the.
I understand that. How? What if like they met before you guys started?
No,
dating?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
like I just
So,
said.
yeah,
Even
like I
if,
said.
regardless of how long,
Mhm.
like I'll still respect the friendship.
Mhm.
Like allow them to be friends, but like if it was to choose between me or the other guy in terms of like doing something or if we made plans, it would be me.
Yeah, I agree.
Be-
I think the part of like meeting the person and hanging out with them in a group setting a couple of times
yeah.
to ensure that like, oh yeah, like you know what this girl's intentions are is something that I would consider. Previous
friends, like they've been friends for like a while, like even like way long before we ever met, I would be okay with it. But if it's like a new friend, then I'd be like you mentioned, a little sus about it.
Oh, yeah,
No
yeah,
new
yeah,
friends.
yeah, yeah.
No new friends.
But like previous is okay, it's fine.
like
Like
Drake said, no new
can...
friends.
Because in my head, I'm thinking like, if they really wanted to go for each other,
Easy.
they would have done it way long before.
Yeah.
Yeah, the person, that girl had X amount of years, and like ultimately in the end, it's like he chose me to be with me, and that's how I feel secure about it. And
Exactly. It's those people thinking like, oh, you're insecure. Let me be friends with who I want to be. It's like, no, actually, I'm really secure. I know exactly what I want. I know what I look to in a relationship, and it's not because, like, it's like I'm basically, I know how it goes because it probably some relationships started out like that, friends, and then it just kind of slowly caught feelings, and you're in that little like sus realm where you're like, oh yeah, it's it's all sus. Yeah,
that's the term of this podcast.
Yeah, sus realm. Because you're like overthinking, and it's like, why even put that thought into your head? It's like you're already in a great relationship,
But you just agreed to what he just said, which is totally opposite of what I just said.
What?
But you were saying like, oh, even then, like I want her to choose me over the guy best friend. But for me, I'm just like, it's okay. Like I understand and I respect the friendship, and like if he wants to go hang out with her, like once in a while, it's okay. It's fine because I understand that if he chooses that, like it won't hurt me. But then now you're saying that like, yeah, secure. Like you don't, kids matter. It's fine. Like, but you said earlier that like, oh, you agree with Nick.
What do you mean?
Do you get what I'm saying or no?
Do you get what she's saying? I think you still have to sleep, so.
You're saying like, regardless of the situation, you're okay with whatever that your partner chooses, whether it's their best friend or you. But then what we said was that
It has to be you
has to be
over the
us
best friend.
over the best friend.
Yeah,
Mhm,
that's why.
mhm.
And then you were saying something about being secure, and then that's why she was saying it's contradicting, because if you're secure, you wouldn't mind her choosing whoever.
The best friend, I meant. Yeah, over you.
No.
But I think it's based off a situation. I think it's just like if he or her is constantly choosing the best friend over you, then there's a problem.
That's where it's
Every
the
single
sus
problem.
realm.
That's the sus realm, exactly. But like if it's just like, oh yeah, I know, they still want to go, I don't know, play, I don't know what the fuck what they do. I don't know, play volleyball or play whatever what they do every single time before he even met me, right? Like yeah, they can go do that. It's fine because I don't want to break that like routine or like whatever that they enjoy doing together. And that's what I'm saying. I guess yeah, what we all agree is based off of like scenario. Is that like, no new friends. We all agree with that. Older friends are okay, but to you guys, it's that you guys got to be the priority. And I think maybe based off experience as well, because I've been in an experience where like I've been the jealous one, where it's just like constantly being in the sus realm and like questioning every single motive, and that really fucked up the relationship. And I learned that there's just like there's no reason, and that's why I really kind of just like went full on like
You manifested it.
left. No.
What are your thoughts?
No, in terms you do manifest certain things because you're always overthinking. Once you're in that sus realm, you'll always think, am I not good enough? It's like this, that.
It comes down to attachments too, as well too. But yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you were saying?
What are your thoughts on double standards and things going on nowadays.
Yeah.
Equality,
Oh,
and
God.
then
When I was younger, I think because based off where we were born and where we grew up in our environment, um, we can agree 20 years ago, there weren't a lot of Asians here. Like 25, 30 years ago.
Around
Okay,
my turn, but
yeah.
yeah, okay.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna lead to it. Just wait.
Sure.
And then now it's really Asian influence,
Surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah, I guess.
right? It's like people come here and they're like, holy shit, like it's not Canada, it's
Yeah.
Asia?
Asia,
Sure. Yeah,
right? And like you get kind of influence with the culture as well, and the Asia culture versus the Western culture of when it comes to relationships is very different.
Mm-hmm.
The expectations in a relationship are very different.
Yeah.
And so like I kind of changed over time and thought like, yes, equality, like he does his own, I do my own thing, like, I get my rights, he gets his rights and stuff like that. This is like when I was younger, but maybe in high school or something like that. But after high school and slowly, but now it's just like I've kind of learned that like you mentioned, the guy should protect, the guy should provide.
Guy should lead. Guy should lead. There needs to be
Good lead, not bad lead. Good lead.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I don't want to get into specifics, of course. Good lead, but it should
Because
always
he
lead.
could be a good, he could be he could be leading, but he could be leading you to poor decisions.
Poor decisions. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like he could be a good, like not good leader, but like, good at being leading bad.
Yes.
So I totally understand that, and like I do like see it that way, and yeah. So I've kind of like looked at it like that way now, whereas like before it's just like
Equal rights, equal left. No,
yeah. But I still feel for me though, because like I still protect myself now. Like the guy wants to protect me, or a guy wants to show this, I still have like that wall up where I'm just like, I can do it myself. I can, I'm not, I don't, not that I don't trust the person. It's just based off of my experiences. Now I've built up like this, okay, you know what? I can try to let you, but like I still rely on myself to protect myself from these things, or I can do it myself. I still have that mentality sometimes.
And is that from past relationship traumas?
Well, going straight right into the trauma.
Because it is essentially
That too,
right.
but also growing up, Dad made me feel like you're strong. You can do it on yourself. You don't need somebody.
Hey, every female's a strong and independent woman when shit hits the fan. That's just how it is. It's true. Like I don't see any, for example, I don't see any women, in the front lines of the war. It's the men had to stay, they had to fight, they had to die, right? And guess who got to leave? The kids and the women, right? So it's like modern day Western societies put so much toxic or brainwashing into a lot of females to think, oh,
Not just female too, but like male too. It's just like expected that like, oh, you gotta be, you're strong, you're not weak, you gotta go and do this and stuff like that. So it was not just that. It was.
Is that not a good thing though?
No, but men can also don't have to be strong too. They can also be upset, be nurturing and cry and do all these things as well too. Nothing wrong with that. So I'm like, back in the day, it's different because they put this in their heads, like, women are supposed to be nurturing. They're like good at taking care of kids.
Because
Because
they're good at it.
but like men can be too. Men can be too. It's just the way that they are raised. If their mother raised them to be good nurturing men or like boys, they would be good at it too. I've seen nurturing fathers. What about those single parents that are just, father, just like taking care of the kids?
Single fathers will always do a better job than single mothers. It's
Ultimately, I'm
stats,
just
too.
saying that, like, you just said it though. Men can do it. You just or earlier you were just saying that, like, oh, men, like, you're still contradicting. You're just saying men and mothers are more better at nurturing, and now
Yeah.
you're saying like
I didn't
fathers.
say fathers were. I was saying fathers.
It depends on the situation.
ultimately, what I'm just saying is that like
There needs to be
all
a better
can be-
masculine role, right? There's obviously better things that men can do that obviously women can't.
Also, the other vice
Other way
versa.
around, yeah, vice
But
versa
also,
too.
vice versa, women are better at things than men are.
It's both too. We can't just say, oh, one's better than the one, and you can't think about the other side.
But they're both equally. I wouldn't say both equally, but both are capable of.
They both deliver
doing
their own.
other things,
good
like what the other
things.
gender can or can't do.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say equal.
No, definitely not.
Definitely not equal.
Definitely not equal.
But let's say you're seeing this guy. He provides everything. He like brings you out, blah blah blah. Pays for things. Is respectful. Like takes care of you. Like very nice. And all he asks is that you don't go out to
Clubs.
Oh, that's fine.
Yes.
or like they request you not to wear certain things when you're by yourself or going out with friends or whatever, and or if they're like, I don't really like this friend, can you like spend less time with this person? And they explain themselves and everything and like the reasoning, and it's justifiable. It's not like I don't like this person.
If I'm pursuing something really serious with this person, then yes, I would do these things.
Then you consider and like listen.
Oh yeah, yeah, I will. I will.
Okay.
Because like, part of you mentioned part of this relationship is also respecting, right?
Yeah.
I probably have my things as well, and then he works on it too. It can't just be one-way street. So it's just like, I will consider and hear those things like, and I know like a lot of the time it's not because like, oh yeah, he's doing it for his sake. Possibly a lot of times that I feel when they say these things also like it could benefit me as well. Cutting down on the clubbing, like, what does clubbing really benefit you? Like, yeah, you're having fun, you're happy. But like, are you growing from that? So try to look at it like at a different perspective as well, rather than getting upset about it or getting angry, like, oh, he's controlling me or he's like this and that. What about you guys?
I expect them if I'm providing everything, like, and like
Yeah.
I'm respectful to them and I treat them like a queen. I expect them to
Treat me like a king.
Treat me like a king,
Mm.
right? And to respect what I ask them to do, but I'm not gonna just randomly throw shit like, "Hey, don't do that," or "Don't do that." Everything that I ask them or request them to do, will be justified.
There's a
by
reason behind
Yeah.
the things. Like we think about it a lot before we even try asking.
I don't know. Sometimes some guys don't though.
And they're not good men.
Yeah.
They're impulsive. They're always thinking negative thoughts. But if an actual good man, he'll put a lot of thought into it before even asking, even deciding, even planning it out. They've gone through the scenario hundreds of times, right? And we have to be careful of how we say certain things too. I mean, if we want to be blunt, then that's kind of like that tone that you've set with your partner.
But also your future kids.
Elaborate.
When like you mentioned, like there's a reason, like you guys have reasons of why you suggest these compromises, right?
Mhm.
But like for us, the way we say about like tone, it's not because it's directed to us, but we see it as far as a force, like to foresee the future. Saying that like how you talk to us is going to be how what we see is how you talk to kids in the future, right? And it's not just like directed towards the kid. It's like you talking to mom or like mommy, or you talking to me, and the kids are there listening. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like the kids will like pick it up.
Pick it up.
100%.
They always pick it up.
So I'm saying it's like it's good to practice now on like the way you word things, because you can't just fully talk to the way you would do it to your buddy,
Adult, yeah.
to a child. It's very different. You can, I mean, if you want to scar the child, go for it. That's I mean, based on why I say tone is really important. I mean, there are some girls that are like fucking batshit crazy. I totally understand that. But that's why I'm like explaining why tone is important.
Do you think people change over time if they've done one thing in the past?
I think people are capable of taking chances.
They're capable of change, but it's depending on if they're willing to at least admit.
I think admit, yes, is the hardest thing, but actually doing it is the hardest. Like,
Well, you can't even get to the do part if you don't admit, right? So
no,
a lot of
yeah,
people,
I'm
it's like for addictions and people with cigarettes or drinking, it's like, what's literally the first step?
No, I understand that, but I'm saying like after that, I don't think admitting is the hardest. It's the doing it is the hardest. Well, based off of my experience. Yeah. Yeah, it's I get it for a guy to break down and like let down their walls and be vulnerable is really tough. I understand that. Right? But it's like the moment you decide to, and it's just for girls too, the moment you decide to let your wall down and be vulnerable and you want a change moving forward and you want to do better, then you should really commit to that before you decide to, you know, let down your wall to this person.
I think consistency is the hardest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And consistency is definitely the.
Because you could always like, yeah,
I'm willing to change. I'm wrong. So you've already
Yeah.
done the admitting.
and then
You're
go
trying to
do
change.
one thing like today,
And then
today.
2 weeks later, you're back to your old bum self.
It's yeah, it's always like that.
It's mental. Yeah. Um.
What are we at right now?
I think we're almost at 10:45, right? Oh shoot, it's almost 11.
So it's almost.
We gotta wrap things up.
Yeah. Alrighty. Thank you. I'll let you guys know if we're doing it next week. Because it might be, depending on the weather, I might be going climbing.
Nice. Outdoors?
Yeah, I might be going to Squamish.
Again?
Oh, actually, I think I might be.
I
I couldn't go last time because they had that accident.
Yeah.
And there was a hold up, like that one highway, like to see this guy.
See this guy
was
once.
backed up.
Gosh, it's over.
And it was backed up for people that went there. They were stuck there for like 5 hours.
Jesus.
5-6 hours, and it was fucking hot.
Yeah, when you add heat to it, it's like.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, sorry, I was gonna say I don't think I can do next week because I'm going camping.
Oh, okay.
Hey, where
So.
you going?
Squamish.
What? You both see each other?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I know. Squamish is pretty big. But once I saw that video, I was like, that's interesting. Like
drone?
that.
Did you see the
No, I did not see the drone. It was when your friends were like you were climbing and then they like threw the.
Oh.
Yeah. So I didn't expect that. I thought you were like, because I've been to places where you can see like actual hooks and
Oh,
like,
yeah,
steps.
that's there too.
That I thought you were doing that.
Oh, no, I'm not doing that. Yeah,
Oh, I thought you were doing that.
I'm
So
gonna get, I need to buy the equipment for that.
Equipment.
Buy a helmet
Mhm.
and like harness and stuff.
Mhm.
And then the little device.
Yeah.
To, like hold myself up.
hold the harness.
Will you ever do ice
Box.
climbing?
When I do ice climbing.
Whew, dangerous, but
I don't know. We'll see. I find it like. I don't want to say it's easier, but it's like it's less painful on the fingers.
oh yeah, well
because
because
you
you're
have picks and other
picks,
shit.
yeah.
The rock climbing is like you have to have strong fucking fingers. Because it's like less. There are things that are less than that are around like 5 millimeters.
You have them
And
hook
you have to like, be
onto.
able to like hook your fingers onto it and lift your entire body weight.
I showed a video of a guy what was he doing? Climbing or whatever.
It was
he
like
does?
Free climbing?
He was like moving through like a jungle gym thing.
It was like Nick was like a real life Tarzan. Like this guy was like insane. I was like, this guy like he literally moved like a monkey.
Oh.
He was probably a monkey. Look at that.
Oh. Dude, his lats are crazy. They're
He's just
so
like swinging like a
defined.
fucking monkey. Look at that. Literally a monkey.
Man, the amount of times that he's
How
like,
fast he moved through that.
the amount of times that he's bailed, I bet.
Probably.
I mean, comes with it. He's had to fall on 1,000 times to be able to do this consistently. Very impressive lat strength for sure.
Yeah, my lats,
And he has, like, no legs.
My lat pull downs increased like crazy,
Crazy?
ever since I started climbing.
Climbing also kind of, people say it translates to jits because your
The grip strength.
grip strength and gi, mostly gi, because you're grabbing onto like the collar and you're not letting go.
Yo.
What?
Did you see the Mark Zuckerberg?
Yeah, of course. Come on, you don't think that world like I immediately see it the next
when
day?
I saw it in the morning.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, it's crazy. I was gonna send it, like show you, but I think you were sleeping. But I was
Oh, you just send it to me. I know about it. Mark Zuckerberg entered 2 jiu-jitsu tournaments. He won gold and silver.
What the fuck?
He put a hoodie on, he put a mask on, and he put a fake name. And could you imagine like your first jiu-jitsu match ever and you're fighting like a robot basically? Like Zuckerberg, and he won.
What the hell?
Yeah, he's actually like him.
he's been
He
training.
gets into it. Keanu Reeves gets into it. Tom Hardy just won 2 golds as well. Like
Tom
these
Hardy
people,
was in it for a long time, wasn't he?
he has been. Yes, he's been doing it for a
What the
while.
hell?
Way back.
Yeah, these are smart people. Smart people want to do jiu-jitsu. You see a skinny guy, and then obviously you look for the collie ears and stuff. You obviously stay the fuck away from these people. When it comes to controversial,
Dude, the ears look so ugly.
It was that. Damn,
The
that
cauliflower
got
ears.
huge.
Mm.
So gross.
Yeah.
That got huge.
That got huge. Well, it probably is though. It could be that. It could be
I don't
fucking.
think
He got
everything.
big?
Yeah, he got pretty big.
He doesn't
Well, not
necessarily have-
huge, but he's like he looks strong.
Yeah, but think about how old he is, right? It could just be TRT.
But I also
Not that
remember
old.
he used to be very.
I thought he's 40 something, no?
It's like
That's not
late
old, though.
30s, 40s,
Yeah.
That's still not
early
old though.
40s. That's not
But-
old.
You'd be surprised, man. They can still really move at that age.
Yeah, but it helps, I guess. The jiu-jitsu world is like all the high level guys are just juicy, filled to the gills.
So when he was competing, like they knew that it was him.
Well, you knew about it like
As you
it's
shook
like,
his
as
hand.
you're going like that, and you're like, it's Mark, and you're like,
But the
hi.
name is different though.
Yeah.
So you're tripping out.
It's
You're
here,
tripped,
get
yeah.
Your position,
Get
get
your
your position.
go,
alright,
go,
handshake
hi.
if you want,
And,
whatever.
and then you go like this, you go like that, and then you're like, it's Mark
And then you
Zuckerberg.
look
Ah,
up.
shit. Yeah.
You're like, the fuck is this guy
Yeah,
doing?
what
Did
is
they
it?
ever like put the batch on? Like,
No, I don't think anyone recorded, or I mean,
Probably.
record the whole match, but they like filmed a little bit because obviously, like, dude,
Did you see it? There was videos of it.
Yeah, yeah. You saw like him, some guy trying to shoot on him, and then he like posts, and then they're trying to get, they're trying to engage, and Zuckerberg won.
So wait, when you're doing a tournament,
Yeah,
Fucking Megan
like
Thee
you're probably having to compete.
against
You
multiple
move
people.
like,
It's a tournament. Yeah.
You can possibly gas out, right?
No, it's not possible. You gas out.
Damn.
You no matter what.
It's whoever's the most conditioned and trained.
Who's ever
skilled.
drilled the best. Whoever drills the most. It's
How long
all
did he
about
train for?
drilling.
Train for 24/7 if you want.
No, I mean like
How
how
long
long,
he-
until he competed?
Oh, I don't know. I think he said it was a year.
A year. He said it was about a year because he had somebody that helped him,
Yeah.
just learn
That's so
through it
funny.
as well.
You fucking.
Once he did that, like
Nerd.
little, like boxing, like like MMA type of drill with that like Asian like martial artist, I knew he would have gotten into jiu-jitsu once he fell into it because it's usually those bright-minded, like intricate thinking people that
Strategy.
love. Yeah, they think about
They're
strategy.
strategic
They think
people.
about like body movements. When they put that type of thought into like a sport, they've because people like that, they perfected something already. They can still apply that skill into other things. Like if you wanted to stop like if you wanted to stop all his tech stuff and went into like the world of fashion, I think he would do well because not because necessarily the resources, but I think it's the time that he
to focus and be able to plan and be able to, you know, explore, and the open-mindedness of these people. So jiu-jitsu is really about, like, it's like literally you know, perfect for nerds.
Yeah, I just find hilarious because like I'm pretty sure people that were like in a tournament, like they see this guy, sees that, like yo, this guy's making it, I'm gonna fuck him up, and then you get fucking robbed.
You get rolled. Yeah, you get rolled, basically. Yeah. So it's interesting to kind
And
of.
then Elon Musk, he wouldn't have the time for sure.
He wouldn't have the time,
No,
and he
imagine
definitely
if
doesn't
he-
have the body.
Dude, Elon's huge.
Elon can fight.
Elon has
Elon
a
is-
huge base. He's like 200 something pounds, and he's 6'3", 6'2".
Yeah.
He's that tall?
Yeah.
Holy
he's
shit!
huge.
I can't tell like on camera or
He's
anything like that. Like
250 pounds or something.
Is
He's not like muscle though, but it's like
he's fat.
he's slightly fat, but it's like
That's when you know the guy
Yeah.
is not doing anything but working on Tesla
yeah.
and SpaceX and everything. He's sleeping on the floor. That guy is not trying to be like Bezos and
no, I've seen
You know,
like I've seen
traveling
sleeping
the
on the floor.
world.
He even in an interview he was like he sleeps in the office on that like couch. Like, that's all he does.
Mhm.
He doesn't even go home.
Eating shit, probably trying to just better.
Wait, so is he autistic?
They're all autistic. They're all autistic. They're all form of autism. Yeah, they all gotta be a little crazy to be doing the things that they do and to be at the level that they do. You don't think?
Type of personality.
Yeah, it's a type of personality. You don't think Babel's coming down from the rocket? You don't think that's a little crazy and stuff? Like,
It's
holy
just like
shit.
how obsessed they
The
can
obsession,
be,
yeah.
over something and then actually acting on it is like I would say is very common within them all. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go. This is it.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
You have camping gear? You have camping gear?